This is Pam from NortheastWheelsEvents.com with Lance Miller of Carlisle Productions at the 2014 Fall Carlisle in the 40-year exhibit. Very interesting, being 40 years old. They have a car from every year represented here. And some very unique ones, including this Volkswagen GTi. A GTi, okay? Bear with me. This one's worth watching. This is a Callaway GTi with the Callaway Stage 2 modifications done in Old Lyme, Connecticut. And we've got Lance here to tell us the story of this very original, very unique car. So, you had just bought the car. You bought the car off of eBay last year.
I did in 2013.
Okay. Why a GTi, and what's with the Callaway?
See, I'm a big Corvette fanatic, and Callaway is gigantic in the Corvette world.
Yes.
Not only the Corvette world, the BMW world, the Volkswagen world. This was all back in the day. And I'm a big GTi fan as well, because when I was a kid, my dad took me for rides, power shifted the gears. How can you not fall in love with that torque steer when it rips it? And truly, that's what I remember when I was a little boy. But I figured, you know, something with a Callaway's got to be a heck of a lot more fun, so why not go this direction? And this car happened to pop up online. It was a car I had to have.
This is amazing. Now, how many miles on it?
There's 18,600 some miles on it, and it's all documented. Every single mile of this car was documented because it was owned by an engineer, and he literally tracked every inch that it went.
Jeez. The velour interior is absolutely flawless. Everything on the car is almost perfect, but as only a mid-80 Volkswagen would be, as you see the chip bumpers. But that was normal back then. Do you want to pop the hood? Let's take a look-see.
Sure.
Yeah, I want to see the documentations.
Yeah, the documentation's phenomenal on this car. I mean, you can just see all the stickers are perfect.
That's great. That is not a speck of rust, of course, because this was babied all of its life. And the lady was just phenomenal. And you can see all the airbox and how it's modified.
The used battery.
Yeah. He got really cheap, which is funny. He said he went nuts with the Callaway and all the modifications and such. And then he goes cheap on the tires and puts in a blem battery from, what was that, Walmart. It's like insane, absolutely insane. And meanwhile, how many horse does this put out?
200 horsepower, all said and done.
Jeez.
And keep in mind that it's a 90 horsepower stock motor. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of horsepower to improve upon the stock.
And she weighs, what, about 23?
Yeah, 21 or 2,300 pounds. So, I mean, they're light, they're fun, they're nimble. That's what it's all about.
And now, this also has the sway bars and such. Even Callaway went over some suspension bits.
I don't even know if they did the suspension or not.
I think they did do sway bars.
Oh, they definitely did, but I don't know if he did it on this car.
Ah, okay. Very good.
Question.
Thank you.
Look and see.
Yeah, we got to see what goes on. If you want to open up the driver's side door. Oh, first off, I want to take a look at some of the story of the Callaway. This is amazing. There's the original bill of sale. I'm going to flip through a little bit. You see what goes on? Where's the, there's the Callaway transactions.
And it was a Stage 2 turbo. They had a couple different options.
Of course, GTi, road tests. This guy really did his homework. The documentation. These are the various companies which he had looked into, looking for which way to go. Drake Engineering, we all know. GTi turbos. So he really did his homework before he went with the Callaway. And Callaway was still a very, very early entry to starting with BMWs. You can see how meticulous the notes were. This is just, oh gosh. And of course all the questions which were asked. The decals he never put on.
He wanted the car to be very discreet, which I love.
There's the receipts from picking up, that's the hotel, from picking up the car. The various engineering, front stabilizer, mounting instructions for a front stabilizer bar. I thought I saw that.
Was it? Cool.
Uh-huh.
Good to know.
Turbo suspension, front and rear stabilizer bars, Bilsteins all the way around, and turbo road springs, front and rear. Pretty neat. Jeez, absolutely. And then, of course, he goes cheap on the tires. Blows you away. It's great. It is great. Let's take a look at the inside. You're going to be very, very impressed with this. Again, this is a very, very low mileage, 18,000 mile car. This is what gets interesting. Again, no rust or anything else, but look how perfect velour seats are. That's a near impossibility on these cars. First off, it's a GTI, which is always getting beat up, and this car is absolutely perfect. The Callaway coin is right in there. Again, really didn't want a pure sleeper. And he was a Corvette fan. The original owner was a Corvette fan. He wanted a Vette, but he couldn't afford it, so he bought this instead, doing all the research. Now, you had gone to meet with the owner's wife, because the original owner passed away. And you really had a bonding with her.
I did. Well, my father passed away in 2004 from amyloidosis, which is a blood cell disorder. It's protein, abnormal protein buildup. Mm-hmm. And when I was talking to her, which I finally got a hold of her, it took me about 48 hours to get a hold of her. She had 0 feedback on eBay, which scared me. There were a lot of things on the ad that just didn't add up. 18,000 miles, why? And it said original owner, but it was coming like the person didn't know too much about the car. Finally, I got a hold of her, and it was her husband that owned the car. He had passed away from very similar to disease, unfortunately, and she was just a total sweetheart. I mean, I fell in love with this lady just talking to her for the first time. And I knew that the car was legitimate just speaking to her. However, I did hire somebody from Vortex Volkswagen forum, and he went out, looked at the car, and said, it's perfect. By all means, you're going to want this car. So I had eyes on it before I actually hit the submit button for the big purchase.
Very good. Very good. And is she involved with the Chip Miller Foundation at this point?
No, but we keep in contact quite a bit. Good. And it's just nice to have that open relationship, and she loves the fact that I have the car, and I love the fact that they own the car, because they're very, very genuinely good people. And this truly was his baby, and you can see it. This is fantastic. Again, this is Lance Miller at the 2014 Fall Carlisle event. You always have to get down here. This is Pam from Northeast Wheels Events. Always make sure, check your wheels every week for cool shows like this. We'll see you in the spring.